What's cracking? How's it hanging? Welcome back to another video. Working on the Squarebody project. It's been a while. My hair's gotten quite long. Let me just get this damn thing up.
Look at this dude. Oh no, no, no.
Now we can actually get some work done. I don't know what I'm gonna get done. I don't know when I'm gonna get it done. I do have a couple updates. I graduate in a few months from college. I have classes and work. Funds are low on the project, / I don't really want to spend more money on it. And you know it has to be done. You gotta do it. I think I've come to my senses, and I mean, I'm just ready to bite the bullet, and I really think there's only one thing left to do. Insurance money. Hey pal, did you just blow in from Stupid Town? Last minute I checked, this thing's not insured. I fell into a burning ring of fire. It went, oh, yeah, I knew I didn't have insurance. I was just joking. I'll head out. I wasn't, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so, firstly, in the background, we will see, I've made quite a mess out of the shop here. This project hasn't gone super well. Yep, I know what I'm gonna do with that fine there machine. Make it look real pretty. Put a little bit of something there, a little bit of something there. Perfect. Oh, I have a vision. It might be blurry, but it's definitely there. This was the second motor. Well, motors are electric, it's an engine. Okay, this was the second engine I bought for my truck. I bought it from some guy who had 3.5 teeth who lived in Idaho. And well, wouldn't you know, the engine wasn't good. Garbage. Radiator fan to the exhaust manifolds over there and those heads. All of this was from the engine I bought. So I'm not going to use that engine. Some of the parts are compatible. This came out of a 1987 Chevy R10, supposedly. Probably didn't. And my truck is an 86, and that was the year they swapped over to throttle body injection, as people might know. So yeah, it's not good. Mine's carbureted, and I want to keep it carbureted because I have a very nice carburetor. So I got screwed over. On to the next thing. I got the 2 engine blocks. This is the block I bought, which I was talking about is damaged. I got the good block down there. The table off to my right, which you cannot see, which is great, has all the parts from the engine that came out of my truck and the engine I'm going to use. On to the next thing. The next thing, which is kind of hard to show, is, well, mostly because it's the fact that there's nothing here, is the fact that I've completely stripped everything out of this engine bay. I mean, I ain't kidding ya, there's not much left in it minus the frame. When I'm done with this truck, I want to be able to pop the hood, and even though the truck is a piece of shit, I want the engine bay to look extremely nice. So someone can say, hey, you put a lot of time into that and it looks really nice, and just to know that everything is cleaned up, there's no rust, it's all reliable, shouldn't have any issues for a while. I'm currently trying to source parts for this. That's the update on that. I'm probably not gonna work on that for a while, but you will see it eventually because you're gonna see everything because I'm filming everything on this project. So here is the biggest thing I have done in the last 6 months. Woo! This transmission, for all those who don't know, is called a NP440 or an NP833 or A833 transmission. It's a Chrysler transmission, Mopar transmission, whatever you want to call it. It was bought and used by New Process. They used the Chrysler design, and then they mated it up. They used a different, I believe a different bore size in the front and rear of the case, and they used a different bell housing so they could bolt it up to the Chevy V8 small block pattern. So with that being said, parts for this, impossible. You can buy a rebuild kit, which was cheap enough to get the sync rows, all the snap rings, you got the gaskets, all the bearings, all that type of stuff to rebuild it as long as everything was good. So I was just praying, and keep in mind, the person who sold me this vehicle transmission had no issues. Well, then when I was taking it apart, transmission had issues. So I took it apart and, well, it's not good. It's not good at all. The case is ruined, so I need to get a new case, and they don't make these parts, just, you can't go buy a case for it. So, yeah, no case, no transmission, no car go forward, no good. New case, car drive, car good, but I can't get a case. So car no go. It's been sitting here disassembled completely. I got all the parts back here. You can see all the gears, the synchros, the input shaft, the counter shaft, output shaft, case. It's all sitting there. So I started looking at swapping it. So I was gonna swap it to a SM465 because people are like, oh, just SM465, you just grind gears all day, just blower, you know, it won't blow up, they're bulletproof. Yeah, that's true, but they also have a granny low gear of like 6.38 to 1, I think. So you basically go nowhere, and they have no overdrive. So if you want to drive it over 55, you're gonna be screaming the engine at like 3,000, 4,000 RPM. So I want overdrive, and this unit had overdrive. That was what made it rare. It's a 4-speed, 3-speed with overdrive, and it was a 0.73 to 1 ratio overdrive. So it's pretty good. So my options then became swap it, which the junkyards at the time and at this time only have a 1978 and older SM465, which is a different bolt pattern for the transfer case. So I have a 208 in this truck, or figure out a different swap. So I went to thinking, and I've come up with a solution. And yeah, it took a while, and huge shout out to my dad for going out to the junkyard with me, and my friend Doug. Huge shout out to Doug for going out to the junkyard with me and helping me do some measurements. But I think we've come up with a solution. So here's what it is. This is the solution. Not that this is the solution, but this helped me come up with the solution. So if we open this bad boy up, you can't see, but in there sits the NV3500 5-speed. And before, hold on, before you comment, you Chevy aficionados, I know that's not an NV3500. I know that is a, I can't remember, the Get Rag or whatever, the HTM 290, I don't remember, but I know it's not actually an NV3500. But what it is it's a 5-speed. It's a 5-speed with overdrive. Well, 4-speed with overdrive, 5-speed, you know. And it came in 88, 89, 90, 91, and then they switched to the NV3500, and then they used the NV4500, and 1 shaft, 3 shaft. I've done my research. That is the solution. I need to get one of those. I'm not using this one. There's nothing wrong with this truck. This truck's perfect. Transmission is 27 inches from where it mounts to the engine to where it goes to the transfer case. On my hunk of junk, my transmission and bell housing was 27 inches. That has, the blue truck over here, has 32 spline output into a 241 transfer case. Same thing as the 208, it's just not made out of aluminum, so it's a little bit stronger. So it should bolt right up to this. Now, there are not a lot of informational videos that tell you how to do it. So I'm going to try to show you how to swap a NP440, SM465, whatever, for an NV3500 and a 1986 Chevy K10 pickup. I just need to get a transmission from the junkyard for $100. If it needs rebuilding, I'll rebuild it. I've watched a couple videos, you can get kits, blah, blah, blah. So that's that update. That is the biggest and probably the last thing that I think I've done on the truck. So with that, let's get into doing some work, because I hate talking, so let's get wrenching. Y'all gotta cut me a break, because I'm working in a shop with no lights, and it's not heated, so it's like 30 degrees out. And I've got 4 shirts on, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shoes. I mean, I've got it all on. It's cold. That's snow. It's cold. I'm still out here working. So the first thing I think I'm gonna do, since this transmission's a hunk of junk, as I just explained, I'm gonna try to put it kind of back together. Not really, I'm not gonna assemble anything, but I just wanna put the gears back on the shafts how they should be. Maybe zip tie it or tape it together. And then I'm gonna set it off to the side so I have a work table. All right, table. It's very clean, as you probably can. That took a lot longer than I was expecting. Try to put that all back together, so I'll know how to put it back together if I ever want to put it back together, even though I don't ever want to put it back together, so I'll never put it back together. I say that 5 times fast. Right now I'll get some money's worth of parts, like $400 worth of parts set up on the table, and we'll be right back. In this box, we have a brand new ring and pinion gear. 2 bottles. Well, this is just leftover gear oil I had. And it won't be enough to fill it, but I got some ADW90 Super Tech, so you know it's good because it's from Walmart and it's cheap as hell. And I'm gonna switch it out in like 300 miles, so not buying good stuff. And got like half of this left of Super Tech ADW90. Supposedly a 10-piece bearing race and seal installation kit tool that supposedly has the right sizes to do the races for the pinion gears, or the pinion bearings on the axle, so I got that. This box has all the goodies. I got wheel bearings and seals for the axle, or axle bearings and seals. I have a crush sleeve eliminator kit that I bought off eBay. Got a couple assortments of lock washers and washers because I'm missing various bolts and things are missing them, so I just picked up some of those. An empty envelope, hell yeah. I got 2 of the most important tool you need if you're working on cars. I got 2 hammers. This is for holding the pinion. It's a yoke pinion holder so that you can hold it while you tighten the nut through there with a big socket. A very precise measuring gauge. I can't think of the name. And I'm an engineer. That's scary. Anyway, this is for measuring backlash on the gears. Motive Gear rebuild kit. And this comes with the bearings, gasket maker, I guess, the bolts for the ring gear to hold it on. I mean, this just has everything. So I'll show you guys that in a little bit when we actually start doing stuff. And then I got a file. I'll show you guys why you need a file in a couple seconds. Digital calipers, because only old people actually read calipers. Even though I can, this is the only set I have, and they're a little bit, it's just quicker. This box, I have my Yukon gear and axle carrier. Brand new carrier because I can't seem to find a carrier for these axles that isn't destroyed from a junkyard. So let me start getting stuff done and I'll clear this off and we'll start working. So get your new carrier. This is the bad boy, the Yukon Gold. Just kidding, not Yukon Gold. I always see Yukon Gold like a beer or a milk. I don't know what that is. Anyway, Yukon Gear and Axle, brand new carrier. $100. Bought it from the sketchiest website I've ever seen, but I actually did. Making sure we get every little piece of plastic because we don't want any plastic. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Nice. Oh, I forgot a piece. God damn it. Forgot the spider gears. Well, okay, we don't really need them. So first thing I want to check is make sure the ring gear I have fits on this and the bolt holes line up. 373, I already counted it. It is a 3.73, so I just need to make sure that this guy will fit on the upper side of that. So that's what we're gonna do. And that looks correct. The length looks about the same. Yeah, looks fine. Looks good, so I think we're good to go. GM 10 bolt 8.5 inch bearing and rebuild kit. So that is what I have. And it was $78, for those of you wondering. So the 2 bearings that we need are these 2, and they're 2 races. So I don't want the races because there's only a high chance that I damage them. So we're just gonna leave the rest of that alone. These should be our 2 good ones. I'm gonna set this to the side. Yeah. You can see these are Koyo USA made bearings. So these are good. These are the brand you want, not that Chinese garbage. Buy good ones so you don't have to ever do this again. Spend the extra $10, whatever. Number, they say LM501349 and they're Koyos. So I have those guys. Now we're gonna try to press these bearings on and see what I can't break. So I'll set you guys up with the press and we'll start pressing some things on. Let's see the fun happen. Let's see Clayton break things. I mean, that's the name of the channel. Breaking Even Garage, right? Should be called Clayton Breaks Things. The Clayton Breaking Thing channel. That's what I should really name it. All right, so we're gonna be pressing bearings in. Anytime you use a press, you should put on safety glasses. You only get 1 set. I am not, people think, oh, you don't look like a man or whatever, but if you want to be a man and wear an eye patch the rest of your life, go ahead, but you only get 1 set. So with that, let's put some safety glasses on. Basically, the biggest thing you gotta make sure you do when you do this is you wanna put this on straight. You don't wanna start it crooked, else you're gonna be in a world of hurt. So I'm going to use my new tool I just bought. Find one of these that fits in there properly. And I'm gonna use that to press it on. Well, we're just gonna clean the surface that we're gonna press onto. We're gonna clean it off real quick so that I'm not pressing on any dirt, any metal, nothing like that. And you can see it's pretty dirty because I'm gonna give the bearing just a real quick clean up. Just want to go on a little bit. And so that way, using this, you know, you start it nice and flat. You want to just make sure you keep spinning this, make sure you never damage it. And you don't want to press on the outer race, only on this inner race. That's the biggest thing that people mess up with this, and then they cause damage to it. So now, what you're gonna have to do is get either something that fits just on this inner race, like a piece of pipe or something. I have this disc, and then you're just gonna wanna keep just going down on it. Just take her nice and slow. Make sure, again, you're only pressing on the inner race, not the outer race. Yeah, so my tool bottomed out, but we're not actually all the way down. You need to actually have a socket or a pipe that's the correct size so you can push this all the way down onto it. So with that, you need a pretty big socket. So I'll get that, and then I'll be right back. But so far, this is going really well. All right, I have a potential. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, that works perfect. Okay, center that. All right, tighten this up. Ah, there it goes. Okay, got really hard to press. Like, it doesn't want to go down at all. And it's not moving, so we're gonna call it good. Bearing's still spinning free. Take that off. This keeps from messing your paint up. A little trick I learned as a kid. We have to turn it around and do it the other way. So for that, I'm gonna get a little bit creative. So this is the setup. A little bit more janky, but I got some pressure treated 4x6s. Make sure it's pressure treated or this isn't gonna work. So I got those. I got my steel blocks under that just so this isn't pushing into the wood. It's pushing just on this outer rim, so that'll be good. I got the bearing right there, and I got the little tool I used the first time. Go till it doesn't go, and then just go a tiny bit more so you know it's seated all the way. You're done. Here on the workbench, we just got the bearings installed on our new carrier. The next step is going to be to install the ring gear. Thank you, shout out to Eric the car guy. I learned on his channel, a big thing is you're supposed to take a file and you want to file the back of this completely around it, because if there's any metal burrs on this, it won't sit flush. That's how precise this needs to be. So, and now you do the same thing here, just make sure it's all cleaned up real nicely. Red bolt locker. Look at that. The kit even gave me Loctite. So then you want to take one bolt, one of your brand new bolts. Don't put thread locker on this one. This one's just gonna help you line up the holes here. Oh, by the way, don't be an idiot like I was. These are reverse threaded. I forgot that for a quick second there. So you gotta turn them lefty-tighty. Okay, so instead of struggling and throwing my back out trying to tighten these how I was, I threw it in the shop press, I threw some wood under it, and then I just tightened it down a little bit till I heard the wood just give a little crack. I also got some paint from my mom, so I'm gonna mark the bolts as I go around and torque them. I've already torqued them. I'm gonna double check to throw out 65 foot-pounds. All right, so I went ahead and used that method to put these all in and tighten them. I used the paint to mark them. They're all the 65 foot-pounds. They're all locked in there with red thread locker. It's getting dark out. The sun's gonna set here in about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna call it a day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I got a laugh out of you. It's cool seeing that I get views and view time. So I mean, even just watching this video, that's probably enough. I appreciate that. It's gonna be a long journey the next couple months trying to get this done, but hopefully. And my goal is to try to get a video out every week until I graduate. That's my goal. So probably not gonna be able to follow that, but we'll see. That's my goal. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in, and just remember, if you're gonna break something, might as well break even. So I'll catch you next time.